All right, everybody, welcome to
Woo!
the Stoke Your Creative Fire Summit. We are so excited to turn your angst into art. And I am Toni, founder of JourneyDance, creator of JourneyDance. And this is Joy Okoye. Give us a wave, Joy.
Woo!
And we are hosting you today as the creators of The Remedy and Turn Your Angst into Art. So today we have, are you ready, Joy, for we're going to fangirl you, Will. Woo! Now the amazing Will Purpura, we're fangirling you. Oh, good, we made you laugh.
Great. That's always a good sign.
Joy, you want to introduce Will?
Yes. So we've got Will Purpura. He's a comedian, writer, actor based in New York, New York. Will is high energy. He's got this offbeat sensibility and unique timing. And what I understand is you're really into the time. I think it's 3:15 or something like that right now, presently on Instagram.
And it's almost 3:15 now.
What? Yeah, perfect timing.
Woo! Perfect time for Will.
Will has been featured at West Side Comedy Festival, the North Carolina Comedy Festival, West End Comedy Festival, the Devil Cup Comedy Festival. You were a finalist at both the 2019 North Carolina's Funniest Competition at Good Nights and Raleigh, and the 2019 Ultimate Comedy Challenge in Greensboro. And you have been featured in The Funny Introvert and The Poke in the UK. This is awesome.
Funny introvert. That makes sense now. I'm just going to tell y'all watching this. I met Will. I was in the audience and he got up on the stage and I literally was just like coughing up a lung for the entire time. So he came over to me. He was like, "Thank you for making my show so good." And I was like, "Will, who are you?" So I followed you on Instagram and here you are. So Will, tell us a little bit about your creative healing journey.
Yeah, well, I've been doing comedy for 8 years, and I started doing stand-up improv. I focus more on stand-up now, but I've been doing it, for that long. I started in New York. I went to North Carolina for like 3 years, and now I'm back in New York. And
dude, I just want to say, like, bravery, man. Oh my God, getting up there. It's so brave. I'm so impressed. I literally feel like that standing up in front of a group of people and making them laugh is literally one of the most vulnerable things you could do. And you do it.
Thank you. Yeah. It was a very scary thing. And I always wanted to do it, but I didn't do it for a very long time. I waited until I'm 26, 27. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's different now, but I think a lot of people did start when they were like 18. But now I think more people are starting at different age groups. So I don't know if that's as unusual today, but
well, thank God for that, because I'm a late starter. Ha ha ha. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's definitely like different now, of like just like in a better way, of like different people starting at different times and stuff like that. And I like always wanted to do it since I was a kid, but I'm very, very shy, introverted, and all that. And I didn't really have the courage to do it until very much later.
That's a beautiful story. I just want to say, like, no, because seriously, I think so many people need to hear that. It's never too late. Number one, that's my theme song. It's never too late. And number two, like, so do you think that you got over some of your fear, shy, anxiety by doing it?
Yeah, I think it's like, it kind of brought me more in touch with who I am as a person. Like, I think like I was trying to get that energy out in social situations, which is just not me. I'm not very funny, like in social settings and stuff like that. I'm kind of boring, but I like doing it. I like performing for a crowd. I like performing for, like, on stage for a crowd. I like that, and I like being able to be a person that's not always doing bits, and like that, like when I'm like not doing that. So I feel like it's brought me more in touch with who I am, like more of my authentic self, of
Wow.
like what I'm interested, and also like brought me closer to like what really interests me and who I am and really as a person. Stand up is like a very fun art form in that way, where it's like kind of limitless in scope. You don't need a budget. You know, with what you have to write about. You can write about anything you want. You don't need a team of people, which I mean, like group. I mean, like not. I'm just saying, like, just in terms of ease, not in terms of, you know,
You
improv
never
is
know. You
awesome.
might end up with a team someday, Will, because you got a
You never
very certain
know.
special something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I did improv, and performing with a team is a lot of fun and can be very thrilling to
Yes, right, because
make
it's
something
the
out of
edge.
nothing with a team.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I always use that phrase, make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Joy, are you hearing something amazingly deep in here? Because I can see your wheels are turning.
I'm wondering, to go back a little bit, you talked about you finally had the courage. So I'm curious about what that moment was and what's underneath that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess like like I don't know, like something happened, like I never did theater in school or something. I mean, like I did in like grade school, but then I stopped. I think like it was just depression. I think it was just like depression hit hard, and it made me want to take less and less risks, and I kind of retreated and didn't want to do as many things. And then when I started to work on that and like feel a little better about myself, I wanted to, I kind of made a commitment to myself in a way of just, I'm going to do this once a week and I'm not going to care about the outcome. So it was really like a full, yeah. And it really was like a full on year, maybe even more, of it not working, and not like, or only like one joke working out of 5 minutes or something, or just like, but I felt like, you know, I read a lot about it and like heard people interviewed about it, and it felt like, you know, that seems like that's just the natural progression of like learning something. But I think like people also, it's kind of a weird thing, like people like sometimes won't have to deal with like a year of being bad maybe if they have like, if they just have that, if they have that in them already. I don't know, like I think it's like it's, but I think like if my takeaway is that if it's not working the first bunch of times, that doesn't mean that you can't get better at it.
But something kept you at it, and I want to know more about that, because a lot of people will try something and then they fall off if it doesn't start to become successful right away. And I feel like the creativity there within you, there's something there with you are feeling this part of yourself activated.
Yeah,
that's just to add to that. Oh, sorry, just to add to that, it feels like you're on like this hero's journey where, to me, like what you were saying was you were so depressed, and then you were like, I'm going to go every week, even if I suck. And it's so important, because everybody thinks that like we're out there for performance and we're supposed to be the next blah, blah, blah. But sometimes it's just a practice for you to make people laugh. Like just for you to say, oh, I made people laugh tonight, must have given you some kind of, I don't know what.
Yeah, I think I don't know what inspired me to keep this mantra when I was starting, but I think like I just kept saying like, you're doing it for yourself, you're not doing it for anybody else. Because I think there is this kind of pressure. I'm not going to be as funny as everybody else.
Fangirling that comment.
Yeah. And you know, there is like with anything, I would think it can get cliquey. It can be you know, like you're there to be, and I think like community is important, but sometimes like if you're feeling like I don't want to give this my all because I'm afraid I'm going to embarrass myself, that's going to get in the way of you growing. So I really, you know, not that I would recommend this, but I didn't really socialize during that time either. I didn't talk to anybody. I really just kept going and going and going, because I felt like if I got too in deep with the community aspect, I would get self-conscious and I wouldn't like I would just be like, oh, so and so's thinking this, or so and so. I just kept like, so I did that, and I made a lot of mistakes, and and comedy is one of those things where it's like making a mistake sometimes can be really catastrophic and be like,
right.
like
If you make,
like,
especially today with, really being really careful with what you say. I know it's tricky business.
But you're also like, you're finding your own voice, and you're like, a lot of times people aren't even saying things that they believe. They're just saying it because they like feel like this is the way it's supposed to be done, or like this is like, oh, this, I've seen other people get laughs this way, so it must be done this way, or like whatever. And it's like you're really trying to find who you are and what but and then like slowly I think even like that took years and years before, like maybe 4 or 5 years, until I started to really talk about myself in a genuine, authentic way. And I think you must I don't know, like if you feel that way with dance, or you feel that with other forms of art, like there must be like an imitation period where you're feeling like this is the way it's supposed to be, as opposed to this is the way I want to do it.
Oh, so many things you said are so resonant. And also I feel, even as like a quote professional creative art type of person, I still hold back big parts of myself because I'm afraid of being truly vulnerable. Like I love to sing, and I'm going to interview a bunch of singing people on this amazing creative Stoke Creative Fire Summit. And I'm ready to like come out with it, but then I like never post anything, or I don't go to open mic, or I shrivel back up inside because I'm like, oh my God, what if they see and they don't like me anymore because I'm not that thing that they identify me to be. I think it's so powerful what you're saying on so many levels. And clearly it has done some healing work on you. Like you've done healing work through your creativity, which is why I knew immediately I had to interview you. I could feel that.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked about things on stage that I just never imagined. I mean, I always do it in a joking context. So maybe if people saw me, they wouldn't think like anything that I say took like, but I mean, like sometimes some of the things I say are like really scary.
I know, I saw your show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm already laughing because I get what you mean.
Yeah. So it's like it can be very cathartic and fun, and like turning those things that like used to be painful, or and then like making it into something fun. And like I talk about being, I mean, like I don't talk, but this is like a recent thing that I've like come out as bi, and this is something that I've come, like, this is not something that I ever imagined. I mean, like I was struggling with this for many, many years. And like to go from like the idea or thought, like when I was 18, of anything like remotely queer, or like somebody talking about it nearby me and like shaking and feeling paralyzed, and like not wanting to, like, don't move, don't look any particular way, don't turn red, like really like just like devastating internal thoughts that kept me from being social, because I felt like there was something wrong with me, and like I didn't want anyone to like, and I didn't even know how to like describe it or pinpoint it. So now I have like, now I'm able, like now I say something about it, and I'm like, that's, for me internally, maybe it's just a joke, and like, but in my internal sense, I'm like, oh, I went from this being paralyzed with fear to being able to talk about it and being able to speak about it. Yeah.
Oh my God, you don't understand, because I too share that similar story.
Oh my God, tell me.
Well, I mean, I have a female partner now. I literally, in the midst of, I had kids, I had 2 husbands, and I thought, what will people think? Holy God. And I met this woman, and it totally changed my whole life. And so I came out as bi. I mean, I never really publicly even did it. So here we go, Will, coming out again as bi in the interview. Thank you for you're so vulnerable, and I just want to appreciate it. No, I'm joking around, but no, it really was hard for me. I was very scared, and I did talk about it a little bit on the dance floor, but I'm not performing my own material. I'm teaching a different style. You should dance with me sometime. I think you'd love it.
Yeah, I would love that.
We'll get you on the dance. We'll get you on the dance floor. This is really deep, and I appreciate it so much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
thank
like you've
you.
been on that healing journey. You get this idea that in
Yeah.
order to really access a material, you need a different tool not just not even a static processing, but a more organic, creative, what's coming in the moment way to
You know
access
what?
your
One of the things that
stuff.
we do in the Turn Your Ranks into Art program, like that I've been I create these spoof characters, which is almost like what you're talking about. Because when I can spoof it, like I have a character that she would like to meet you actually, but this character that I have, she talks about me being bi as a joke. You know, she's like, she says, "Oh my God, I'm straight, but you know, Tony's bi." Like, you know, it's kind of a funny, because there's like always that weird judgment around our sexuality, especially now with the way the world has gone so crazy, you know, in terms of, you know, the political social climate around being anything but straight, heteronormative white man. You know, we're all pretty much going to hell in a handbasket. Just kidding. Except Joy. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to comment on that one.
Okay. You know what, Joy? I think now would be a great time for you to ask Will a couple of questions on your own, because I think someone wants to meet Will really badly.
Is it that? Oh my goodness. Okay, we can do that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So this is really exciting to hear about how you were able to come into this place of just being curious about going into comedy, and yet you were able to heal. That is a courageous move, and you're able to help others. And we're gonna have to talk a little bit about that in the future. But we have a really good friend of both Toni and myself, and sometimes her filters are a little weak. Just to give you the heads up, but she's an amazing person to talk to and learn a lot about Toni. Yeah, you're going to have the inside about Toni, but this is great about. I find it interesting, the intuitive part of you.
Oh.
And the internal, the one that's the introvert, and how when I think of comedians, I think very extroverted. But I want to hear more about Will's story about how he was able to come out onto the stage and bring more of himself. So that's
oh my God, honey, perfect timing, because you know, hi, I'm Barbara. I'm so excited to meet you.
Oh my God. Hello,
I'm wearing my
Barbara.
fanny pack as a chest carry for you because I know you love it. This is my sparkles. I know, Will, I want to sparkle you up so bad. I just want to toss the bedazzler all over you and be like, Will, we're going to shine you up. Oh my God, honey, you know, I'm drinking coffee. I know you were too. Should we have a little toast?
Oh yeah.
You got some?
Absolutely. Yes.
Will, I saw you in New York. I almost died laughing. I peed my pants in the theater. It was terrible. I had to run to the bathroom, put some tissue in there because I didn't want to leak anymore while you were talking.
That's very polite of you. I appreciate that.
Oh, thanks. When you get to a certain age, you got to put a tissue in there so you don't leak. Because I was laughing so hard, I thought I was gonna die when you started doing the smiling thing. I was like, "What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh my God!" And oh my God, you're such an introvert. I'm so extroverted. I would be like, I'm like you, but like on steroids or something.
But we need more extroverts like you, Barbara. We definitely need that.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, because I get a lot of criticism. Let me just tell you, a lot of people like, shut the fuck up, Babs. You really talk too much. So it's one of my issues, but I'm comfortable with it. You know, Toni, she talks a lot, talks a good game, and she gets a lot of criticism, but I handle it differently. I make a joke about it. I handle it differently. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh yeah. You gotta laugh, right? You gotta laugh.
Will, when you were talking about doing your spiritual practices in the morning, I literally I fell off the fucking chair. Sorry, I shouldn't curse. I fell off the chair because I was like, oh my God, this guy, what are you doing? What's your spiritual practice in the morning? Because I have like 17.
And she's going to go on tour soon.
Oh, you're going on tour?
I'm going to go on tour soon.
Oh my God, honey, of course. Yeah, I'm going to be Will, Purpura, and Barbara Greenbaum. We're going together. No, honey, I wake up in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Walk me through it. I need to hear your morning.
Yeah. First, I got a journal. That takes like 30. Then
Yeah.
I gotta juice takes like 15 just to make it. Then you gotta drink it over a course of time so it doesn't go through your body too fast, and you don't want to absorb all the nutrients and whatnot. Then so now it's like what? It's like I get up at 9, it's a 10, and now I gotta like do my exercises, so that's like 45 because you gotta keep the muscles in the building. 45. Then I gotta do the meditation, and that's like an hour because I can never quiet the fucking mind. I keep cursing. I could never quiet the mind, so I got an hour of that, right, Will? And then what's after that? I gotta feed the plants. I gotta walk the garden. I mean, I gotta walk the cat, whatever I have. And I'm the whole day is gone because then I have to do my therapy. Right.
Oh, of course. Yes, absolutely.
And the therapist, she's like, oh my God, I want you to do this practice. And I'm outside talking to the trees, trying to get grounded. And that takes it's like 4 p.m. and I'm finally done with my practices for the day. And then I gotta work.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, like what we have to I really think we should abolish work because we need to focus on our morning routines. There's just got to be more time to the day to devote to morning routines.
I love you, Will. I really seriously, I want to do morning routine with you. Just like all day morning routine.
Yeah, we need to be earthing. We need to take off our shoes and socks and walk through the dirt. We need to drink our 90 ounces of water. We do need a minimum of you gotta hydrate. Absolutely gotta hydrate.
I haven't even started yet. And it's what time? It's like 3 p.m. and I look at how much I have left.
Yeah. And we need to set aside 2 hours for reading. 2 hours of reading time minimum.
Oh my God, reading. Honey, if I add that to my list, I'm never going to bed. I have to admit, I don't read anymore.
You know what? I read, but I also don't count the reading that I set aside for the 4 agreements. I read the 4 agreements every day. I got to read the 4 agreements every day, and then I read for 2 hours. Yeah.
So then it's 10 p.m. when you're done.
It's about 10 p.m. and now it's time for my nighttime routine. A little bit of yoga, light some candles.
Yes.
20 minutes of yoga. Cat cow. Yeah, absolutely. Downward dog, tree pose to the left, tree pose to the right.
I'm into it.
Mountain pose, just stand there. Just stand. That's a pose. I'm doing a pose right now. We're all posing. This is sit down mountain. I call this sit down. This is my own version of mountain pose where I sit down and it's a sit down mountain. It's more like a hill. Maybe it's hill pose or mound.
Oh, honey, I love it. I need beach pose. I need beach pose where I can just do Shavasana on the beach, honey.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we forgot about the beach.
The beach.
I mean, the beach needs to be an everyday thing.
So then we have like the whole day just practices.
I was going to say, Barbara and Will can create an afternoon practice. Maybe you can collaborate on that. That would be fun.
Just to break it up.
Yeah.
Do an afternoon practice. Let's take a break, do an afternoon ritual.
Yeah. And we have to like write stuff up and make sure it's fully to really cathartize the whole situation because we have to transform. That's the whole point is transformation. It takes a fucking village to do this work.
Absolutely. And you know what? You brought up a good point because we forgot about vision boards. And I do vision. I do vision rooms, wall to wall, ceiling, floors, just visions, just nonstop visions.
I love it. I just took pictures of all my vision boards because my people around who live with me, they're like, Toni, Barbara. They're like, Barbara, enough with the vision boards. You got so many boards. And guess what? They all look kind of the same. And has anything changed? No. Rip that shit up, chuck them out, start again. I need to do something much more epic. I'm going small. I'm too small, my vision boarding. I'm going to go full room. I love it.
The way to go.
I always learn something from you, Will. You're a spiritual teacher in the guise of a comedian, a very, very dry, tasteful comedian, honey. Been such a pleasure to meet you. I'm so pumped. I'm going to head off because Tony's yanking my chain over here. Like, get off already. All right, Will, I'll see you soon. I'm going to fangirl you, Will. Fangirling you, Will, honey.
Thank you,
Long Island. I'll come see you on the Long Island. I promise. All right. See you later.
Thank you, Barbara. Great to see you.
So great to meet you, Will. I love it. We're going to do a spiritual practice all day long.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
the connections, right? We've got some connections over here. People
Oh my
want
God.
to know. I think the afternoon practice is the way to go. I think you two should come together and then just create the thing that will just seal the deal between the two. And then I think you'll have a great, absent of the workday. There's nothing left There's just nothing left.
No, there's nothing. We need to focus entirely on self-care. We gotta like get rid of everything else. Just take care of the self from morning till night.
Oh my God,
And
Barbara, get out. All right, honey. All right. All
oh
right.
my goodness.
Oh,
But there's
oh,
some
hey,
sadness
okay,
to that.
you're back.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, headset.
Yeah,
Me?
but there's some seriousness to that. Well, I think that, taking it to that
Yeah.
next level, and
Yeah.
we really do need to focus on self-care. And I think that we've really, our culture has really pulled us into a different direction. And I think that creativity meets us there and helps us access how we're going to, make things right as we can.
And from a social anxiety perspective, like the character you just met is like so fun for me to become, because then I get to interact with you in a new way, right? I get to play with you like I'm playing. Because in my normal self, I'm like, oh, I have to be deep. I have to be this teacher of wise. I teach. I'm a teacher, so I have to be. I know. I saw your email address, so I know you were something before this, which we don't have to talk about unless you want to share. We don't have to. But.
I mean, I'm happy to share it. It's not anything that's legitimate. It's
Oh, okay.
There's a thing called Church of New Life where you can go and become an ordained minister online.
Oh, okay. I thought you were a reverend.
Yeah. But I put it down. I like that became like a nickname. Like
Rev
early
Will.
on. Yeah, Reverend Will. I'm not a real rev. I have like done a wedding. I did my friend's wedding because I am ordained to do so. But I mean, it's not anything, nothing legitimate. If that was the impression.
Okay.
It was, yeah.
No, I was just teasing. But really, I do feel like being creative does bring my fire back. Like, I feel like whenever I lose my fire, I lose my passion for life, which is easy to do. It's really easy. I mean, I'm not going to lie to everybody. It's really easy for me to fall into inertia. Like I'm always moving. I'm a mover and a dancer and a creator. But if I don't move, dance, and create, I literally can fall into an inertia where I'm literally like watching Netflix, many hours of the night. And I mean, not that I mind. I love Netflix. I love my entertainers, and I love great stories. But it's like, I'll do a little bit of Netflix. A little bit is fine. But when I know I've gone over the edge when like I'm not sleeping well anymore. And I'm like, ooh, I haven't been creative. I have not. I need to like get my characters on. I need to write a song. I need to dance. And I danced just yesterday. So I feel like 10,000 times better. But the creativity is my healing all the time. I use it daily. It's like what you're saying. You gave it a practice. Comedy is your practice.
Yeah. And,
it's one of your real spiritual practices.
Yeah, it really is. Like I do like, I mean, I'm pretty devoted now to doing it at least every day. I go out, I find a mic or two, and that's how I met you, because like I had nothing to, like I was searching for somewhere to go, and I found the barn, and they were doing a music open mic. And there were no other comedians that night, unless I missed them. But I mean,
no, there were none.
But I was like, I'll go. I mean, like I'd never been there before. I had no idea where I was. But I was like,
you were like, where am I?
On the way. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know.
But it was even funnier because you were just like, I'm a comedian and here I am. Where am I?
Yeah. And, you never know, like out of that, it's also like been great for me personally of like, like you just never, it allows doors to other worlds of like, I met you through there. So, I mean, like, like you never know what's going to happen when you go to different places. I did one mic that was a poetry open mic, and I didn't personally, I didn't really have a great set that night. But what I got in exchange was being exposed to amazing poetry and this was in Richmond, Virginia, that I just like, I found it through an open mic search, but I wouldn't have been there that night to hear those poems just because but I was going there in search of an outlet just to go up there and like, try something and like see if, it worked or it didn't or whatever. So it's been like, it's definitely personally healing. It's also been adventurous and fun. It just like opens up all these doors and worlds, and it's been really cool.
I'm so excited for you and your journey.
Nice.
So what's
Thank
next?
you.
What's your next like performance? You do every day you find a mic?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a benefit of New York. Of like, there's Brooklyn, there's Queens, there's Manhattan, there's multiple open mics.
Wow.
If there's no show, you can find something else. But also, if there's no show, and they're like what I was with, like music open mics or poetry open mic, if there's no show, there's no mic, there's might be something else, like,
Right.
so like fine. But I have been like having a little luck with like some bookings lately, so that's been really great. I've met a lot of great people here in New York,
Woohoo!
and like so that's been like feels like exciting things are happening. I'm going to, again, the North Carolina Comedy Festival this week. That's this weekend on
Wow.
Friday. And then after that, going up to the DC Comedy Festival. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And I have a couple of shows in DC. And
Great.
And then I'm trying to go to different places every couple of weeks. So like, I rigged up my car I have mats. So I like sleep in the car and so I don't have to pay for hotels. And I've been like traveling like up and down the East Coast.
Adventure.
Yeah. It's been super fun.
This is so great.
Yeah.
I mean, Joy brought up the really deepest, healing story is like, such a key thing that you like now you're out there doing all this, activity. And you said you were like this, like what you shared was an introverted, and then you went through some depression period, and like, look at you now. Now you're just like doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm getting
with a mat in the back of the car, going around, making people laugh. I love this.
Yeah, it's definitely the antithesis of where I thought my life would be leading 10 years ago, because I just thought my life was over.
Wow.
And it's really been thrilling that I got a restart where like, 10, like actually when like maybe 10 years ago or maybe a little bit more, someone literally said to me, you're done. Like wherever you are right now, that's where you're going to stick, and it's over for you. Because like, I think they do put a lot of pressure on like, people who are in their mid 20s, like get that job as soon as you get out of college, and then whatever it is, that's what you're going to do. Right. And I just like am very grateful that, through like meeting great people and everything, like it's just been able to do what I'm doing now, what I wanted to do 10 years ago. So
yeah, you swerved. You were like, fuck that, done this. I'm swerving. I'm picking a new path. I love that so much.
And it's interesting. People will say that, and they'll try to like get in your head, but it's never over to do what you want to do. No, it's never
over. And we really have that philosophy here. We really believe that take back the voice, take back the dance, take back your life. And that's really, we believe that creativity is that path, and that humanity really is very creative. And it's a time of transformation.
Absolutely.
All across the world, we're seeing this. And people are saying no more to that I'm not past my prime. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm here. I want to live. I want to get in my van, put a mat in the car, and go around and just see what happens on a mic.
And make people laugh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So Will, if you were going to give like our viewers a parting, either how to write a joke or a joke, whatever you'd like to, if you want to do a little bit, or you want to, tell them, like, give somebody like an inspirational message, like you can make fun. It's okay to laugh at yourself. Anything you want to say, like give us anything. I know I put you on the spot right there.
Anything at all?
Sure.
Anything at all. Let's see. I do, like everything in jest, but I did write some positive affirmations. I really do some of this stuff.
This is going to be great. I'm getting ready. I'm ready for this.
I goof on it, and then like, but this is like stuff I do.
Okay.
What was the well, I think what's a good one? some of them are like, so they like, I guess I'm like this when I read them, I'm like, this sounds like they tell you to be a little cocky in the affirmations, like I didn't really write this, but like stuff like I am strong, like stuff like that. And now I'm like, maybe I shouldn't read this out loud. But I mean, like, but I think this is maybe a good one. Give yourself I probably read this somewhere though. I didn't come up with it. But give yourself the same compassion that you give other people, which is like kind of a good rule of thumb. Because like, you know, I think like I definitely beat myself up a bunch for everything. Social anxiety is horrible. And, you know, like it's a very hard thing for me. And still introverted, still. So like this stuff is definitely out of my comfort zone, but you know, try to, you know, like, am I judging other people in the same way? No. So why not, you know, judge myself the same way I'm like, or not judge myself the way I don't judge, you know?
Right.
That's
like very
that.
nice.
So maybe if anybody's
it is
feeling
working.
if they feel self-critical, like I do a lot, maybe that's a good thing to say.
That's beautiful.
I love it.
I love it.
Okay.
All right, so y'all, you're gonna have to go and find Will Purpura somewhere. Oh, Barbara didn't make her joke about your name. How do you say it? Purpuru, what is it? Anyway, she didn't do it. It's okay. So thank you so much, Will. We learned a lot today. We did, and
thank you.
You know, yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. A comedian, actor, writer of his own material. Woo-hoo. Let's close with our little fan girl.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Ready?
Check them out.
Go, Will. Go, Will. Woo! Feel the fans. Feel the air. Wind blowing through your hair. There you go. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So fun. All right, Will. Give us one bit as if.
Oh yeah. Well, when I get up on stage, I like to count the laughs because I'm trying to get 10,000 laughs every set that I do. So so that counts as a laugh. If I see a smile that's halfway there, I count that as a laugh. That's 50% to a laugh. If somebody yawns in the stage, that counts to me because that's using the same muscles in your face.
Yes.
Chuckles, chortles, giggles, guffaws. all laughs count. Yeah.
Great. I love it. That was such a great start. I was peeing in my pants. All right. Yeah. So Will, where can people follow you on Instagram and hear some of your bits?
At Will Purpura, and on Instagram mostly WILLPURPURA.
I love that. PURPURA. Pure. He is so funny.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So we are gonna be sharing with everybody as the interviews come out more about a program that we're gonna be bringing to the world down the line called Turn Your Angst into Art. We might have special guests on it of all different kinds. And we'll share more with you about that later. So definitely go follow Will. He's going to be performing all over. If you live in New York, find him, track him down. Maybe he tweets where he's going to be up that night. I don't know. I love marketing. I'll help you out, Will. Tell me where you're going to be.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
You've got some fantastic reels over there. If you need to get your daily laugh in. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I know. And just the basic jokes that you write are great. All right. I'm going to let you go. Let's do a big mwah. Mwah.
Oh, that was great.
That was so fun and so deep.
It was.
What was your biggest takeaway from that, Joy?
I love the way he talked about his moment where he knew he had to be courageous. And that was a shift for him. And he wanted something and he stayed with it. Oh
my God. He's doing open mic every night. He said he finds a different mic to do. That is such courage. I mean, that's commitment. That's a practice. That's how you become who you want to become. It's the practice, you know.
And he loved it.
Oh my God.
He loved it so much that even though people were telling him, nope, he was like, oh yes, I'm doing this. I mean, that was inspiring.
For a whole year.
His creativity kept him going. He's at it. So I feel like that really is what happens on the healing journey is that we do use a thing that keeps us alive.
Oh,
no matter what.
Mm-hmm. My biggest takeaway was, I think it was that he even said that he hit like a real depression and he didn't know what he was going to do. You know, it's like, it was a moment of just that horrible time in our lives. And we just feel that. And then he chose something so opposite almost of his personality type. And when he gets up on stage, you literally, I mean, it's so funny. Like I called him to be on the summit because he's so funny. I laughed the whole entire time, every single thing he said. And it could be because he's so present with it. And, you know, it is his practice. I didn't know that watching him. I just thought he was some comedian guy, right? You know? So yay, that was so awesome. Thank you, Joy, for interviewing people with me. And we are so excited to share with you a program that we're going to be offering in the very near future about how you can turn your angst into art, whether it's music, comedy, dance, poetry, visual art. We're just all about the creative arts coming together and really bringing both of us more fully into who we are, which is another point that he made, that he really found himself, his authentic self and all of that. So thank you so much for watching the Stoke Your Creative Fire Summit, and we will see you at the next interview.